I found a thing that I didn't know existed anymore at the Walmart.
What is it?
Okay, so I bought us all one so we can be cool guys. I'm gonna pick mine first because, well, I bought them all, and then you can pick yours, and then Otto will pick his last.
Otto's not here.
Yeah, he is. No, I don't want that one. That's the one I want.
Is that Otto? It doesn't look a thing like him.
That's just what Otto looks like. He's been real quiet today, so I don't know. Here you go.
Okay, I'm just gonna reach in there, and I pulled out. Oh,
Tech
jeez.
decks.
Are they different ones?
Yes.
Okay, I got. Okay, am I opening it or am I?
Oh yeah, we open it. We're gonna be cool boys today.
Or should I keep it sealed?
No, open that.
Oh.
There's so many of them at the Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like they still produce these things.
Oh no, should have kept it sealed. In case you don't know that show on the TikTok, it's a very good. It's called Deep Pocket Monster.
Ooh, look at that flex.
Does it got a coin or something in here with it too?
No, they're just stickers, I think.
I love stickers.
Yeah, they're just like tech deck stickers.
I am not above putting a Tech Deck sticker on the back of my iPad case.
Oh, I'm not either. If I had an iPad. I forgot how grippy these were on the top. Like just.
Actually, I am above it because literally that would make me a poser because I can't do shit with Tech Decks.
Well,
so if I had a
well, now that you have one, you
can
can
practice. Yeah, give me something else to get into, Tony.
Yeah, we'll see. Like here's the thing.
What's he doing over there? Oh, he's
This
practicing his
was
finger
less
tricks.
than $2, so there are far worse things to get into.
I don't think this is a sticker. I think this is just. Oh, yeah, it's a sticker.
Yep. Can you imagine like getting into an argument? And you're like, oh yeah, and you whip it out and you like do like a finger ollie and like, there you go. Because I said,
Honestly, if I could get better at the tech decking, that's a really good tech deck too. This is a Paris 2024.
yeah, like the trucks even move.
This is
Like
nuts.
they're not pro grade,
This is nuts.
but like I forgot how like intricate these things were.
This is really. These are a lot nicer than I remember as a kid.
Yeah, because I don't remember like movable trucks and everything.
Oh, this is really cool. I wonder how many of these parts my dog's gonna end up eating.
just keep them out of her pocket.
I just wonder how many. I wonder how many of these pieces my dog's gonna end
Well,
up.
you know
eating.
what? If she eats the wheels, then you can buy upgraded wheels.
I guess you're correct on that. Man, the grip tape on this is very satisfying.
Yeah, it's like
Knowing, that's a good little fidget.
yeah. Can you imagine just like getting in an argument? And you're just like, oh yeah, you think you're right? Just
Well, honestly, no, I don't need to do that because the bottom of the trucks have that little bolt on it, and I just put like 4 notches in the arm of my chair where the fabric pulled up.
yeah, that bolt is oddly low.
Like it is
trucks.
like destructively low. Like it'll work good on a flat surface though.
yeah.
But I don't really want to be messing around with it. That's awesome though. I'm gonna play with that here in a little while.
Oh yeah, it's not made to chairize because like on my tablet case it rolls smooth. On the arm of the chair, yeah, you can feel it. You can feel it snag.
Yeah, that's some. I thought about rolling it on the front of my case here, but then I was like, "Ooh, no, those are snaggy."
Yeah, like dude, I kind of want to see if I can get some blank ones and we get like our logo on it. That'd be cool.
Ooh, some grapevine tech decks.
Yeah, or like just put our Discord like a QR code for a Discord on it. Like if we managed to go to like some kind of convention thing and they're like, "Hey,
Tony, I
here's
have
your
a
podcast right here. Take a tech deck."
I have a big enough pad on here that I can show you and the audience a picture of something now.
Whoa.
So I'm going to pull up a picture of what version of a skateboard I would love to see Tiny designed as.
Me as a person?
Yeah, like you. If you were on a skateboard, this is the art style I would want it.
You didn't hand Otto his tech deck.
Hold on. Sorry, Otto. Here. Catch. Anyway, as a young man, as a young man, Of course, getting into watching like skateboarding and everything on the. I can't breathe. I forgot how just god awful these skateboards looked. There are certain ones that would attract a certain age group, and these were definitely designed to attract the like 12 to 16-year-old boys. So this is a board called Hookups.
Yeah.
It's called Hookups. It's got like all of this stuff going on with it. It's pretty cool looking art, but it's also just like it's supremely and entirely focused on just making
Yeah. Alice in Wonderland.
just
Very
Alice in
sexualized.
Wonderland overly animated boobage. But I can remember Hookups boards because as a young man, I would like to skateboard. I should have gotten into longboarding.
Longboarding looks so much fun.
If I would have gotten into longboarding, I could have at least rode around and skated with my friends, but I was so god awful at skateboarding that I would like hit gravels, and I was a chungus of a kid. Like I mean,
Well, I think the problem is when we were younger, like the only skateboards we knew of were like the ones at the Walmart, little cheapies that are not really meant to be ridden a lot.
oh, dude, I'd come
Like,
to
I'd-
Cookville and drop some money on stuff. Like I would work like mowing yards and like doing odd jobs and stuff that I could just when I was younger, just so I could go and afford to buy better bearings for myself over at Sports One in Cookville.
Man, there was at one point when I was like 32 to 35 that I sat there and I was like, I could get into skateboarding. That could be a fun way to exercise and lose weight. And then I got to looking and I was like, that seems like a lot of money and a good way to really injure myself. And then I saw longboard and I'm like, now that looks like fun. And then I went, oh yeah. So I'm like mid 30s. That sounds like a terrible decision.
Absolutely. Like I hurt myself to the point to where I hurt a long time as a kid off of falling off skateboards. Like I don't want to experience that as an adult to where
No.
normal I reached for something in the shower a different direction than I typically reach for it and now my back hurts.
Right, like I blew out my back one time eating a sandwich. So can you imagine how bad it would be like falling off of a skateboard?
Was it a ham sandwich?
It was.
That makes sense.
It wasn't even a very girthy one.
Oh. Well, how can you wait, was it like a sad house sandwich?
No, it was like 3 piece of ham, 1 piece of cheese, 2 piece of bread. No condiments.
That's a pretty sad sandwich time.
It was, but it was the sandwich that I grew up with. But we were out of mayonnaise, and I wasn't putting just mustard because it was always like mayonnaise, mustard, meat, cheese, bread.
If you had had some potato chips and mustard, that would have been a full-blown sandwich.
I never enjoyed potato chips on my sandwiches. They cut up the roof of my mouth too much.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
Yeah, it just wasn't a thing that super appealed to me because I liked the mush factor.
I like crunchy stuff on smushy stuff.
I mean, I understand, like, I've been getting into crunchy stuff texture as an adult. It sounds weird, but I was never really a chip person. But here lately, I've been really digging on some chips.
I could throw down on chips almost at any point at any given time. Like,
Munchos, man. Freaking Munchos.
those are like puffed.
No, they're
Aren't
not.
they?
They're made out of, like, potato pearls instead of, like, slices. So they're almost like chips made out of the innards of a French fry.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that, but they're not as like
They're
super.
flat.
Yeah, they're like also like melty almost with how
Yes.
crispy they are.
Yes.
I'm over pork rinds. I can't pork rind anymore.
Yeah, pork rinds, they're very cutty mouthy.
Like I ketoed for a long time because keto was a good quick way to try
Steven
to.
Seagal's really good at that.
No, that's keto.
That's what you said, Aikido.
No, I
He's,
did.
he's like a grandmaster of Aikido.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his videos. I wouldn't want to fight the guy, but
I would.
that's the thing. I would like tiny
knuckle
tiny,
box that
tiny.
didn't win.
Think about it this way. Think about how fake we think it is, and then all of a sudden you try to put your hand on him, and your wrist is turned inside out, and
Look.
you're upside down in the air, and he is just.
Look, here's the thing. He'd be just about like the Mike Tyson fight. I'd be Jake Paul.
Would you though?
Yeah, except I wouldn't pay like $1 million to win. I would just win.
You would just win for free.
Yeah.
No, fuck money, my pride.
Yeah.
I got my pride.
Yeah, it's Steven Seagal. He's like a trash human.
I think we're occasionally trash humans ourselves on here.
I mean, maybe.
Phew, the amount of gardening we did needs to get taken care of just during this. Like, you know what? Let's get into this intro so we can get a little bit more.
Oh, gather round, you mates of mine, for tales of nerds and lore. Three best friends on a podcast line with laughs and chats galore. From comics boring to movies grand and games we love to play, we'll sail the seas of fandom land in our nerdy way. Heave-ho, raise a glass to the stories we entwine, with laughter loud and knowledge fast, nerded through the grapevine. Heave-ho, come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine. From D&D to MCU, nerded through the grapevine. From wizards bold to galaxies far, we dive into each quest. With theories wild and memes that spar, we're surely blessed, no jest. We'll chat of heroes, foes, and plots, and all the trends that shine. With every laugh, we'll tie the knots in our nerdy design. Heave-ho, raise a glass to the stories we entwine. With laughter loud and knowledge vast, nerded through the grapevine. Heave-ho, come join the crew, we'll share our tales divine. From D&D to MCU, nerded through the grapevine.
We are getting so good at remembering.
I need some more work, but
I
it's
still
getting
have to
there.
intensely think about it.
Oh, and me too, the entire time. Hi, everybody. I'm Austin Shazam Pfeiffer.
And I'm Austin Tiny, the tech deck master Zend.
And we are nerded through the gear. Son of a... We are Nerded Through the Grapevine, the podcast where three best friends gather weekly to talk about our favorite parts of past, present, and future nerd culture. You know, the fun thing about being a nerd is facts to me. Or like I'm a fact nerd, and it's useless facts. Like I think a lot of nerds within the community, if you want useless facts,
Look,
you
they're,
can tap
they're
them
not
off.
useless. They're useful in niche situations.
That is what I mean, because there is no such thing as a useless fact. It's just the usefulness of the fact when you find out about the fact kind of determines its usefulness. If you want to get long scienced, I guess.
Yeah, but sometimes the things required in order to use the knowledge can be scary.
Like what?
Well, like the fact that the human rectum can hold 750 milliliters of the fluid, and that's between the first and second sphincter. That's an entire bottle of Jack Daniels.
There's a second sphincter.
Your body's riddled with sphincters. You've got like 10 of them.
You've got 10 sphincters?
Yes.
I thought you just had a sphincter.
No, because a sphincter is a part of your body that opens and closes.
Oh, well, you got a sphincter inside your neck.
Yeah.
Okay, you got sphincters inside your chest.
Yes.
Okay.
I was talking about the lower sphincter and then the one up above that.
But there's one in our our buffle is a sphincter.
Yes.
So that's mainly the one that I think of when somebody says sphincter,
Exactly.
not just that the opening and closing hole for a purpose in the body.
Yep. In the foyer of your rectum, you can hold basically a Jack Daniels liquor bottle.
Why do you? That's a great. Why do you know that fact?
Well, see, there was a meme going around that basically that you could fit 2 raccoons in your butthole. So I Googled it to see how true that was. It is not true. You can't even fit one entire raccoon in there, but you can house a Jack Daniels liquor bottle in there. That was from many medical style websites. I don't know why that was on there, but they all corroborated, so it has to be true when, like 7 or 8 says that. So I took that as fact.
Tiny's comfortable with it. I guess
Yeah.
it just be what it be.
Yeah, I didn't even have to look at my notes for that one. That come off the dome.
Wait, that you aren't even looking at
No,
notes, are
I'm
you?
not. I was just holding my tech deck.
You have that on tap.
Yeah, yeah, that's in there.
What's that? What's okay? Also, you have another one on tap. What's it called whenever your foot goes to sleep?
Paresthesia.
But why does it happen?
It falls asleep because of obduration.
So paresthesia due to obduration.
Yep. Basically, you're pinching blood vessels closed, so it's not flowing, and so it gets all tingly to alert you to move out of that constricture so blood can flow.
I can guarantee you, if I was a kid me would have heard you say that a couple times and would have repeated that as like, oh, my foot's asleep. No, I've got paresthesia due to obduration.
Yep.
And then they would try to put me in the special listening to these tones classes. like, hey, wait, you're in first grade. What did you say? I said I've got paresthesia due to obduration.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, come with me and listen to these headphones.
Well, do you? Okay, I got another one that's just why do you know that? Do you know what mad cow disease is called in a medical term?
Please call.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
I knew you knew that.
Why did that stuck with me from a report that I did in
Bovine.
middle school? Bovine because cow.
Bovine.
Spongiform encephalopathy.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy. I feel like we have had this conversation
We have.
on these microphones before, and it's still.
But they didn't get
stick
to
with
see
me.
that it just come off the dome like they did this time.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
No, bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
Yes.
Bovine spongiform encephalopathy. We've got it. Mad cow disease is bovine spongiform encephalopathy.
Yeah.
It's not going to stick.
I mean,
It stuck with
did
you.
me, yeah. It's never going anywhere else, and I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
The Miracle Blade can cut through a steel toe boot and then directly go to an unsliced tomato and make it straight through that tomato without being hindered by friction.
What was that, Otto?
Special episodes of the car.
Dude, I know. Hot Wheels.
It's crazy, man.
I
I can't believe that either.
Hot Wheels are nuts, man. Hot Wheels are nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Hey, today's episode, I thought that I would bring in some fun facts, and we could talk about some fun facts and things that I don't think each other would know, but then you never know. So I'm going to call this, at which Tiny can ask the guys at Black Flag whether or not they want to name the podcast this or not, but it's Fun Facts for Friends Finding Vocal Focal.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a tongue twister and an alliteration.
And it's an illiteracy.
It is an illiteracy. I can't fucking read. Who's Led Zeppelin? Have I ever told them my Led Zeppelin story on the podcast before?
I don't know, dude. This is 226th episode. So
You know, I feel
there is
bad.
no
I
telling.
feel bad about repeating myself if I ever have, but man, I don't know if I've ever told them my okay, so I'm going to real quick sidebar, then we're going to get into this fun facts for friends finding vocal focal. I was gardening a little bit on my front porch whenever I lived with my mom and dad. And I was just sitting out there. And of course, whenever you are gardening, there is an aroma of the herbs that are being used. So you're casting that odor. And then you're
You're
always.
living herbs and spices.
Yes, absolutely. They smell that KFC. And I see people walking, and there's a guy with skateboard shoes, like the big puffy DCs, kind of baggy pants, and like a hoodie kind of deal. I don't know. It's kind of like punky skateboarder looking. And then there's a girl, and then there's and she's kind of like, why are you walking around the neighborhood and like, I guess you're comfortable enough to do it. It's cool. Like just like no bra, like flap the lapping, and
Was she hot?
it's to the eye of the beholder, and I'm just sitting there thinking, and I've got all these thoughts going on in your brain after you've done some gardening, and then I drifted off into my own thought, and I was wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt, And I thought of an entire interaction between these people. Mind you, the day before at the vape shop, had run into somebody who literally could not read. And I thought he was joking. He's like, "Man, I can't read." I'm like, I was like, "Oh yeah, whatever." He's like,
It's weird when you actually run into somebody like
he
that.
said, "No,
I'm like, how?
He's like, "No, I honestly can't read." And I was like, "Oh." So that being said, I'm on the front porch of my house. These people are coming this way, and they're pushing a baby stroller, and that has like a baby. It's like a twin stroller. In the front of it, there's a baby. In the back of it, there's a dog. So I was just like drifting off in my own head, and I started kind of like I stood up and started walking down the driveway, and I just had this in my head, like this little voice that said, "Led Zeppelin sucks." And it's just in my head, and I'm having these thoughts, and my response was like, "Who's Led Zeppelin?" Like, "It's on your fucking shirt." I can't read.
Jesus.
And this was just a thought in my head. It never happened. But that's what happens when I garden and get to thinking. I've done walked off into that parallel universe.
So you have fake human interactions.
I have fake human interactions in my own head that might actually just me being like having a brief window into a different dimension where that happened. I think that there are a couple of fun facts in here that I have brought with me today that are worthy of saying, and I've got 2 or 3 that can go right into each other just because they're all food related.
Ooh.
And this is my trifecta of food relations right here. And actually, let me turn this around sideways because I like holding it better.
Well, I mean,
Yes.
I've got some that are food related too, so they can kind
Okay,
of
let's
go
bounce.
together,
Let's
yeah.
bounce. Okay, I'll start off with my first one here. It's about Outback Steakhouse.
Okay.
Outback Steakhouse was founded by 4 Americans: Bob Basham, Chris T. Sullivan, Trudy Cooper, and Tim Gannon, none of whom had ever been to Australia.
That's about right.
like, no rules, just right.
So Captain Crunch has a full name. and
Oh,
it-
no.
It's Horatio Magellan Crunch. Yeah.
Did you fact check this pack?
Look, I didn't fact check any of these facts. I didn't feel it necessary.
I fact checked all my facts.
Look,
Spent so much time.
I went through many lists compiling facts, and if it was on more than one list, I took that as a fact.
My third food related fact is going to be the one that I spent the most time actually rehearsing, not rehearsing, but
Fidget Pig.
researching. Or did you drop Fidget Pig?
Fidget Pig.
Oh, is he in the
rolled-
floor?
He's fine.
Oh, not Fidget. Hey, Millie's Ducky's in
I've
here.
got Fidget Tech.
That's true. Let's see. German chocolate cake was invented by an English baker named Samuel German. The cake has nothing to do with the country of Germany.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Lemons float in water, but limes will sink.
Really?
I don't know. It's what they said.
Where?
I don't know. I kind of want to test that one, though.
I think no.
That would be an easy one to debunk.
Yeah, it would be because like all you have to do is buy a lemon and buy a lime
Yeah.
and get a bucket. I've got one of those things.
Right. And I kind of want to feed a piece of a lemon to my pit bull and see what happens.
Oh, make sure
Dogs
you
eating lemons are hilarious.
dogs eating lemons. They don't know what to do with
They
themselves.
don't. Some of them get real fighty.
There is a disclaimer before this next one that I would like to go ahead and put out there just for the sake of future people listening. And disclaimer is don't cancel me. Let's see. Oh, here's a well actually no, this is the don't cancel me one is going to be the next one, but then I have another food related one I didn't even know was a food related one. It's funny. In October of 2024, a rumor resurfaced that MTV reality television series Jersey Shore
Oh, I love this one.
is actually called Macaroni Rascals in Japan. The Japanese title is translated to English using Google Translate to be read as Macaroni Guys New Jersey Life. So there is an undisputed word macaroni that appears to be a playful nod to the Italian American identities of some of the cast members, including DJ Pauly and Vinny. So, that's just. But I saw that, and it was on a TikTok. It's like just for like it was one of those things like forever having my day brightened for the fact that Japan calls Jersey Shore macaroni rascals. Like it feels like just on the edge of racism, but like
Look,
but from a point of view that's not my point of view, but completely foreign in all ways point of view.
look, they call themselves Guidos and stuff on there, so it's fine.
He shot first.
Yeah, well, since we're not talking about controversial ones, I've got probably the most controversial fact.
Is this just to its validity? Or
Look, according to science, water might not be wet because moisture is measured in a solid's ability to retain the water. So since water cannot retain itself, therefore water is not wet.
Into it, then more special episodes of Discard. That's
Otto,
What?
I didn't know you'd be so passionate about that.
I can't believe what got into you?
yeah, like
It's just I know you're a touch sensation guy.
I know,
But it's not
Oh.
like water. Apparently, water's not wet. The science said it
the,
first.
the science said it, Otto, right here. There's even a hyperlink to take me to more science about it.
Sweet Dixie Chicken in Long Beach, California, was found to be serving Popeye's chicken and passing it off as their own. They would buy the chicken at Popeye's and upcharge for their own chicken and waffles dish. Once found out, the owner refused to apologize. The news broke out in spring of 2017, and the restaurant shut down 2 years later.
Jeez, I wonder if he was buying it like frozen.
No,
Like
no.
they
I
would
looked
send
up the
somebody
art.
to the drive-through to get it, and then they'd bring it back.
I looked up the article, and they would make a large.
Otto, that's no reason to smack Charlie off the wall.
Dude, he was just up there watching over you like he always is.
Yeah, now Millie's gonna get him again.
No, he's way back there. No, it's going to take
That's
a
what we
miracle.
thought the first time.
Yeah, Millie will find a way. Millie finds ways. No, but I looked up the article on him, and they would actually send people to go get giant, huge,
Like catering size
and
orders.
not all in one spot though. They would send almost like Smurfs. Like people buying the amphetamines at Walmart.
Yeah.
They would pay people to Smurf for them.
Oh God.
So the people at Popeyes wouldn't see them all the time. And even if they did, they would just see the same people getting the same orders here and there.
Popeyes would just go, wow, they really like our chicken. Like the employees are not going to care because you're still paying them for it.
That would be so funny if they...
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, how hard would it be to just batter up and fry some chicken?
Well, apparently, people love that chicken from Popeyes.
I mean, you can.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
I mean, realistically, they could have just got frozen chicken tenders and just done it that way.
Man, I just think about opening up your own restaurant to where you sold nothing but just sliders, but you just went to Crystal every
Went to
day.
Crystals every day.
Man, oh my God, no! What if we did that with different restaurants? Like, what if we got their food and upclassed it a little bit and then resold it to people?
Like open a taco spot like next door to Taco Bell. It's like, hey, go get some party peas, man. We gotta zhuzh up them soft tacos.
I need my tacos just up a little bit. Hey, Tiny,
What?
oh, I need you to take this taco up to the next notch.
I got you, man. I'm gonna fry that boy. I'm gonna add some sriracha.
Sriracha?
Yeah,
Is that one syllable less sriracha?
yeah. That's the cool street way to say sriracha.
So taking away one syllable, that is notorious for making things cooler, taking away a syllable.
Yeah, especially when you go like, I'm gonna add some sriracha.
That's nift.
Yeah, you gotta do this with your hand too. Sriracha.
Because I like
Fried
Popeyes.
taco with some sriracha.
I like Popeyes, But it would be one of those things like imagine going to a restaurant that would upcharge you from what Popeyes charges you, and then you're getting
Popeyes is already stupid expensive.
Like, of the places, like, it's cheaper than Zaxby's, and Zaxby's chicken's not as good as Popeyes, but yet I never go to Popeyes. Like, I'll cruise on past Popeyes to go to Chick-fil-A because the wife wants Chick-fil-A, but I myself am more partial to the flavor of the Popeyes chicken.
Yeah. So here's a fun fact that it made me giggle when I read it because I was gardening also when I was reading through some stuff. The sun makes a sound, but we can't hear it. So that already was kind of funny. But it makes a sound in the form of pressure waves. The sun doesn't make a sound. The wavelength of the pressure waves from the sun is measured in hundreds of miles, however, meaning they are far beyond the range of human hearing. So it's like we're just in like a dip of the sound wave, so it goes around us.
So if we were just slightly lower or slightly higher,
Or if we were slightly in any other direction, we would be able to hear the sound of the sun.
I wonder if it sounds like the sun off of Rick and Morty that just screams all the time.
Probably.
Have you ever seen that?
I have.
Oh my God, that is a nightmare. Like,
We'll see.
Morty, I don't think there's anything wrong with this rock.
Well, when I first read it, I was like, "That's a joke of a fact," because I saw it on your face too when I.
Yeah, like there's no way.
Yeah, that's why I paused.
That's a good pause. You know what they call that? Comedic effect. And you've got it,
Exactly.
buddy.
I
You've
did
got it.
Thank you.
The Shawshank Redemption has the highest user rating out of any film of all time on the International Movie Database.
It's a great movie.
The movie is actually an adaptation of Stephen King's novella titled Rita Hayworth and a Shawshank Redemption.
It is.
So there are some people that don't know that
It's from the novel Different Seasons, the same one that Stand By Me comes from. And because Stand By Me's original title was The Body.
like. So you think about it this way, from a standpoint of like, why is Stephen King talking about like? Because he chimes in on Movie Folk all the time. So if you're thinking from the point of view like, why is Stephen King, a book writer, chiming in on movie things? Like, The Shawshank Redemption is one of the best movies of all time.
Yeah,
And he has the right to say what he.
it's one of the most critically acclaimed films of all time, and it's pretty much word for word the book.
I remember the first time I saw Andy.
So the universe's average color is called cosmic latte. In a 2002 study, astronomers found that the light coming from galaxies averaged into a beige color that's close to white, and they called it cosmic latte.
Well, that's nifty.
Yeah.
Cosmic Latte?
Yep.
I bet you could order one of those and they would just make you a coffee and put glitter in it.
Probably.
Those exist.
Yeah, edible glitter's so weird.
People have been doing that with.
I don't like contracting normal glitter on my fingies, but can you imagine shitting like a sparkly poop?
I don't know. Let's say that with a different tone in our voice. Can you imagine taking a sparkly poop?
Look, I'm sure my friend Alex already takes one of those.
So there's actually a drink that is a Dr. Pepper with the edible glitter in it and stirred and mixed to the point to where it looks like it is like a galaxy kind of deal because it is so sparkly, and they call them pretty peppers.
Yeah.
So you want a pretty pepper? Like, hell no, I don't. Don't put that demon in my god water.
So just for some caution out there for all of our listeners, because we all know we're three funny boys, right, Otto?
Into it, then more.
Three people a year die from laughing.
I felt like
The intensity of the laughter causing heart attacks or suffocation.
I can comprehend that. There are several times to where we've podcasted together that I thought that you yourself were going to die.
I
I've
almost
watched-
passed out a couple of times
Like-
on here from laughing too hard.
Like, I lucid dream, and at one point I thought that I would I was astral projecting in my sleep. I saw your soul leave your body during laughter several times during this podcast. Like,
Yeah.
you sunk back down into it, and everybody in the audience got to hear a.
One's like at the Wrinkles one where I called Wrinkles, I laughed so hard I legitimately saw black for a second, and my eyes opened when my face made contact with my microphone.
He said, "Dunk."
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool. You think of the Wright brothers all the time whenever you're thinking about if you think about aviation, you think about
Constantly.
that's everybody thinks about the
I
Wright
want to
brothers.
be that kind of old guy that talks about planes.
So the Wright brothers were the ones that they made the first controlled and sustained flight of an engine-powered, heavier-than-air aircraft with the Wright Flyer. It was on December 17th, 1903. They flew for 4 miles from Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, to what is known as the Kill Devil Hills. So, them being a famous duo of pilots, how many times did they fly together in the air?
Once.
Did you already know this?
Yeah.
Did you really? Yeah. You already just have that in this preloaded?
Yeah, that's another just random one.
Just-
I didn't know where they went. I just knew that they only flew together one time.
The Wright brothers only flew together on the same flight one time. They promised their father Milton they would never fly together to avoid the possibility of both dying in a plane crash. What are they, the fucking president and the vice president?
Right.
You'll never be in the same plane together at the same time.
Well, I mean,
Let me
dad and his kids.
Let me be clear. This also ensured that one brother would remain alive to carry on their experiments.
Yeah. True.
And they didn't say flying experiment. So that's another story.
What?
No, not I didn't
Not
think.
together.
Oh,
Not together.
that's a hold on. I was doing the unsolved mysteries theme, but if you're gonna do that together, that's okay. Incest is okay as long as it's medieval.
They weren't. Okay. Yeah. So chainsaws were first invented for childbirth. It was developed in Scotland in the late 18th century to help aid and speed up the process of symphyostomy, or widening the pubic cartilage and removal of disease-laden bone during childbirth. It wasn't until the start of the 20th century that we started using chainsaws for wood cutting.
Is that a verified fact?
That is a verified fact.
That's a verified fact.
Verified fact.
That's a verified fact.
That's a verified fact.
I'm fucked up from that
Did
now.
you not know that?
Oh, I'm fucked up from that.
I had heard for a very long time that that's why it was invented, but I never looked it up really until today.
Look in my eyes. Like you don't even have to. It's recorded. Like my eyes will be dead for a minute there because I had to process that.
That fact goes out to all you ladies because, as we all know, we are the #1 podcast recommendation for women.
It's some of our biggest fans. Are you guys, and you're the females. So thank you for being there.
Yeah, thank you.
The guys
Fact for you.
the most casual of our our listening
just be
crew.
glad you don't have to deal with a chainsaw to your cooter.
That's true. They don't have to do that anymore. I think that one of our
Now we
listeners,
got sawzaws.
I think one of our listeners is a male though that has been penetrated so many daggum times, but mostly just by piercing stuff though, because that's
seven.
Because that's 7. He's our boo, and we love you.
Yeah.
More.
He bought us bread knives.
I used that bread knife. Trudy used that bread knife to make me a layered cake. She was accurate with it. She cut the cake with a bread knife to make it flat. She didn't have like tools. She just did chick 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 chick. Speaking of birth stuff, more than half of America's total drop in fertility rate can actually be explained by the women under the age of 19 now having next to no children, statistically speaking. The number dropped from 1991, stating that 18 to 19-year-olds gave 94 births per every 1,000 women. I mistyped. At least I read it correctly. In 2024, that number has dropped all the way down to 5 per 1,000 women. So it's almost like the movie Children of Men, to where, it didn't instantly happen overnight, but by the time they noticed it, the birth rate had dropped to nothing. And people hadn't asked questions enough about it until it was already too late, to where nobody was having kids anymore and they didn't understand what was going on. And then the world kind of becomes a dystopic future because you get to the end of a generation and you can see the foreseeable end of that generation because they can't carry on because there are no kids. So it's a crazy movie. Back when, what's his name? Clive, dadgummit, I can't remember. Clive Owen. It was back whenever Clive Owen was one of the big Hollywood actors that was in everything. You shoot him up and all
I
those.
don't know who that is.
Well, you can know that name and
I can Google it later. I'm going to prove that I'm not looking at this one.
Google it later.
So 1 horsepower is the equivalent of 131 duck power.
Oh my God.
That was another one just off the dome.
Of course you would know that though. Oh my faith. I'm gonna move for that.
I've been trying to figure out what donkey thrust is the equivalent of.
Donkey thrust.
Yeah, I don't know. But I've got two facts for bananas that kind of go together. Bananas are radioactive due to being rich in potassium. Every banana is slightly radioactive thanks to containing the natural isotope potassium 40. Increasingly, your body contains around 16 milligrams of potassium 40, meaning you're around 280 times more radioactive than a banana already. Any excess potassium 40 you gain from the banana is excreted within a few hours. And also because of this, bananas glow blue under black light.
That's dope. Blue nanas.
Yeah, they're also radioactive.
Blue Nana Blacklight. That's a great band name for a rave band.
I've already claimed it.
Blue Nana Blacklight.
Yep.
Another one relating to births. 1 in 20 people who take commercial DNA tests, like those offered by Ancestry.com, discover that one of the people they have as their biological parent is actually not their biological parent. Imagine how shitty that would be to find out
awful.
that dad ain't dad and that dad is actually like somebody you know. Because what if like people's fathers or mothers or who like well I'd say a lot of times the biological father is the one that's like the easiest to like no that's like he's your daddy like but the like say like just adopted people that weren't told they were adopted.
Yeah.
That do ancestry DNA as an adult only to find out they're adopted. And that just
I mean, my mom wondered if I was her child at a certain point. So I get it.
my
She was there when I was born, but she didn't believe him.
my grandmother passed away. When she passed away, there was a relative that came around that nobody had ever met before. And he was claiming to be a brother from an affair from my grandfather. I don't know any more of the story. I'm sorry I can't report it to you. I'm just Shazam. I'm not Paul Harvey.
Well, you should reach out and just see if it's true.
Well,
Like,
Paul Harvey's dead.
no, that relative.
Well, if I asked my mom about it, it'd be a pretty good conversation to record on here because she has a pretty cool voice as opposed to what you and Otto think it sounds like.
I know what it sounds like, but
Oh, Stan.
yeah. So somebody in 2013, a lady in India was constipated for 45 days.
No.
And had to undergo surgery to remove a fecal mass that was as large as a standard American football.
Oh, my.
Yep.
Oh, my. That sounds awful. Oh, that makes me hurt just thinking about it. But I take probiotics and prebiotics and super greens every day to try to make sure I have normal poops after the food poisoning.
Dude, my medication has been adjusted, so my poops ain't been normal in like 2 weeks, and it's been bad. And the bad thing is I'm not fully adjusted, so they're about to get bad again. I don't know why I shared that, but, you know, we out here, though.
We out here, though.
We out here, though.
Oh, here's a fun fact that you might not know. Did you know that in 1987, Raphael, the Ninja Turtle on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the cartoon, had a girlfriend?
Well, that was Venus, wasn't it?
No. The character was named Mona Lisa.
Yeah, I knew that.
The-
and
and
she
the-
was a turtle, too.
She wasn't.
She wasn't?
She was a lizard.
Oh.
The turtle was Venus, and she was in the television show that was not the animated one in the
Right.
80s. It was the one on Fox
Yeah,
Kids.
don't watch that one.
It was awful. They were wearing
Don't.
they were wearing the
Don't.
same foam that planets are made out of in school models.
Yeah, just don't.
But yeah, in the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle animated show, is the original one that came out. Raphael had a girlfriend named Mona Lisa. They are at a costume party together, and they're both walking around and the party, you know, seeing all the other party goers in costume and talking and everything, and then come to find out, like, she's a mutant and he's a mutant, and she was actually turned into a mutant though. She was a human before.
Oh.
And her genes got spliced with a lizard, and that's what she looked like. And the last scene they had together, they were in the turtle lair sharing pizza together, but she was never seen from or heard from again in the rest of the series ever.
Poor girl.
So that was a little bit of a sad, because when I found that out, I was like, oh, that's cool. Wonder whatever happened to her. Nothing. She was there for one episode. That's it. What? Why?
I'm just gonna skip that one. So martial artists who smile before the start of a match are more likely to lose. This could be seen because this could be construed as a smile in a lot of animals convey fear or submissiveness.
That's
So
like
just an odd correlation.
that's why a chimpanzee shows its teeth.
Yeah,
Like it's
sign
trying to
of submission. Yeah,
And if if a chimp's ever looking at you and its eyes are raised at you, but its mouth is completely closed,
yeah. That means go away.
That's
It's gonna
not
beat
su-
you- It's gonna whip off your face.
and not even like in a question of will it, can it, like yes and yes.
Yep.
Like, oh, it's such a cute little monkey.
No. So here's kind of a funny one. I thought giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. I'm like, because they're super tall.
Yeah.
But, it goes into further say, true, there are only 5 well-documented fatal lightning strikes on giraffes between 96 and 2010, but due to the population of the species being just 140,000 during this time, it makes for about 0.03 lightning deaths per 1,000 giraffes each year. This is 30 times the equivalent human fatality rate.
There was a man who was struck by lightning 7 times and survived.
Yeah, God hated him.
Like, he survived 7 times getting struck by lightning, and he's actually so prone to attracting electricity that lightning strikes very close to his area all the time, but not him directly. But the lightning is so attracted to hitting close to him that his wife has started making him get the fuck away from her whenever they know storms are coming, because the storms don't even have to be on them, because lightning can travel up to 14 miles away from where its epicenter is.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
So he's actually been struck by lightning so many times that his wife has been struck by lightning. So his wife has been struck by lightning because she was in proximity to him during a storm. So it's nuts. That wasn't even a fun fact off of my notes. That's just something in my brain hole.
That'd be awful.
Having that in my brain hole, or just
No, just if that was you as a person, that would be fucking awful.
That would be awful. I mean, Dane's dad actually cussed at me because I was outside holding my keys up to the sky, hoping to try to get struck by lightning.
Trying to get superpowers.
I can't help it.
You're like, I'm gonna die or get superpowers. One.
There are 2 options here: it's superpowers or death, and I'm pretty depressed right now. So that was the route at the time. And Dane's dad stuck his head out the door. What the hell are you doing? Hell was a cuss word to Dane's dad.
Right.
Let's see. You got another one? I got a few more.
Got a few more. I'm just trying to find some good ones.
1 in 10 people born in Europe are thought to be conceived on an IKEA bed.
Okay, so
Go IKEA, fueling the future of the Europes.
yeah. So comets smell like rotten eggs, urine, burning matches, and almonds. Traces of hydrogen sulfide, ammonia, sulfur dioxide, and hydrogen cyanide were all found in the makeup of the comet 67P, a hyphenated name that is definitely impronounceable.
To us, like,
Churyumov-Gerasimenko. Promotional postcards were given commissioned in 2016 carrying the pungent scent of a comet.
I think that we know somebody that describes this word very well, and I was saving this for you just to tell you on the podcast, and it's ultra repidarian. Say it one more time here. Ultra repidarian.
Okay.
An ultra repidarian is the name for a person who tries to offer opinions or expertise on topics on which they are not actually knowledgeable about. There's a very large word.
I know that person.
I know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
Ultra repidarian. Ultra repidarian. There we go. If we want to say it for the quicks, ultra repidarian. We'll know that word now. Somebody offering you expertise on things they have absolutely no shits in their brain about. Basically, they just read the headlines.
Oh, yeah. I can think of 2 people like that. So deaf people are known to use sign language in their sleep. A case study of a 71-year-old man with rapid eye movement disorder and a severe hearing impairment showed him using fluent sign language in his sleep, with researchers able to get an idea of what he was dreaming about thanks to those signs. So he was sleep talking, essentially.
Be a whole lot easier too if he had an erection at the time. Narrow down what that dream was about.
Yeah.
I don't understand. It's just spelling out a bunch of like vowels. I'm not getting. Oh. Impressive numbers for Abraham Lincoln. You ready for it?
Yes.
Abraham Lincoln was a local wrestling champion before his political career took off. He wrestled in close to 300 contests. How many times did he lose?
I think it was like 15
Once.
once. Okay. I knew it was really low. I couldn't remember the exact
Man
number.
was a 1 in 300 loss.
Yeah, he was gnarly at it.
Lincoln is also the most written about figure in American history, with more than how many books do you think are written about Abraham Lincoln?
I have no idea.
18,000 books have been written
Dang.
about Abraham Lincoln.
One of my favorite books was about him.
And do you know that he is also the tallest person that has
Wait,
ever
were we
served
talking about fictitious books or nonfiction books?
books?
Okay, so books in general. Okay.
Books.
Okay.
He is also the tallest person to ever serve as president. Still, period.
That
Because
tracks.
think about it.
Wasn't he like 6'7"?
He was only 6'4".
Oh, 6'4". Okay.
But if you think about it,
I mean, for that time, he was a giant.
yeah, because I was hearing what's his name, Shane, the comedian.
Gillis.
Yeah, Shane Gillis, and he was talking about George Washington, and not Abraham Lincoln, but George Washington. Because I said it in a way to where it didn't sound right in my head, even though I said the words exactly the way like the words sound. So he was talking about George Washington, and he was talking about like George Washington was. I went to this George Washington museum, and they walked me through everything. And he said, turns out Washington was 6'2". He had horse teeth on the top row, and his bottom row of teeth were actually slave teeth. So miscellaneous information about George Washington.
Yeah. I mean, Lincoln also owned slaves, but
No, I wasn't saying anything about. I was just talking about like that's what his teeth were instead of wood, because everybody's
Yeah.
like George Washington's got wooden teeth,
he actually had a couple sets of teeth made from different things.
but he also was of a small wit as far as like he was a man of few words. Everybody said he was a man of few words, for he never told a lie. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
And he said, honestly though, think about this real quiet, giant, red-headed, slave horse tooth fuck coming at you at the woods, screaming, carrying a bayonet, saying, "Tax this motherfucker!" Like he said, that's a scary man, because
Yeah.
6'2" in the 1700s is 7 feet tall today. So you've got this red-headed ogre giant that's running out through the woods screaming "America," and you're this little British twat that's 5 foot nothing going, "Oh Lord, help me!
Oh my God.
Oh Lord,
God save the Queen.
God save me!"
Oh my. He won't even have tea.
I've got 2 more facts.
Okay, hit me with them.
I'll hit you with one. Before coming to the United States as a toy in the 1920s, the yo-yo was originally used in the Philippines
It was a weapon.
as a weapon in the 16th century. So I've seen somebody before demonstrate the yo-yo fighting techniques, and that is he's not a very well known weapons guy. His name's Doug Marcaida,
Oh yeah,
and he's okay.
he's okay.
He's okay. Take him on, see what goes.
His new knife is actually kind of cool looking.
He's will it kill?
It will kill.
It will kill.
Buzz Lightyear's original name was Lunar Larry.
Shut up.
Yeah, awful.
That's just as bad as Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Why do they always have such shit like proto names?
I don't know.
Like at
Well,
least
Steamboat Willie was actually produced a couple of times before it became Mickey Mouse.
like what was Luke Skywalker's original name again? I think it was like Star
Star Killer,
yeah.
because they ended up making like his clone Star Killer.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was instead of Luke.
I can't either. Daniel Starkiller.
Something,
It might as well
something like that. Yeah.
because it never saw the light of day.
So bottlenose dolphins are the only other species in the world that have names for each other.
Really?
Yeah, like that one's Jenny, that one's Billy. Like they have their own like style names for each other.
Yeah, because they have their own language that they
Yeah.
speak. We've gotten into that. Like as far as like people, we know that they speak their own language, but like that dolphin over there's name, and that dolphin over there's name.
Yeah.
Like they've got clicks and ticks and hisses and all this other stuff for their echolocation. They can call each other.
Yeah. Not even on cell phones.
No, like from miles away, just like. And then it basically the text message traveling through the water
Yeah, it's
into the ear holes of Jenny down the way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the
But
sound
Jenny
waves
can't
moving
answer.
through water moves so much farther than they do just out here on land.
But Jenny can't answer his clicks because she's hiding from her father, who's in the sea house, and she's out in the sea cornfield. And then here comes this dolphin having to go out and get it. And he says, God, make me a seagull so I can fly far, far away from here, and all that, every damn thing.
And every damn thing.
Spread across. Well, let me start this
Well,
again.
a,
Son
sea-
of a.
a seagull can hold up to 3 gallons of water inside of its big, leathery mouth.
Is that a seagull or a pelican?
It's a seagull with the big beak thing, big beak pouch.
That's a pelican.
Oh, pelican. I meant pelican. My bad.
Seagulls are only scary.
Yeah. You're right. I meant pelican.
Seagulls are only scary in groups. Pelicans are scary in single.
Yeah, I mean, look at that mouth, boy. What does that mouth do? It eats you.
Once upon a time, I was 20 years old, and I
Assuming
was
that they were still alive, but they're not.
once upon a time I was 20 years old, and I was running down the beach. I was at a beach. I could run. Not so much these things anymore. So you get to I see this lump in the sand, and I was going to jump over this lump in the sand. It was like this little
Did it look like a booger?
This like it's like just a little knot in the sand, like a sand mound, and I get to running towards it. And as soon as I get close to it, it moved up, and the sand cracked, and I'm like, oh god! So I instead of like halting pace, I'm like, I'm still gonna jump it. It was a pelican sitting on a buried nest inside the sand, and it rose full ass up out of that sand like a
horrifying.
Tyrannosaurus Rex. As soon as I jumped over the top of it, it took that as full threat to everything's life within the vicinity,
God.
and it started chasing my ass. And I wasn't scared of pelicans before.
But you was after.
That fucking, I don't know that pelican's name, but if you were on that Young Life trip down there and you remember yourself, pelican, and you listen to this podcast, you scared the shit out of that boy at the beach that day, and he never fucked with another pelican. You put the fear of God in me.
Well, he didn't even know he was fucking with the first pelican.
I had no idea. I'm so sorry that I even did anything. I was just going to jump over a little sand hill, but then it moved, and it was you. I could not help myself. I was already running.
That sounds awful.
Spread across one's entire lifetime.
That pelican trimmered you.
He did. He did. He graboid me. He came out of the.
Oh, that's awful.
I need Reba McEntire and a shotgun. Someone call Bert.
That movie made me so afraid to just walk around for the longest time when I was little.
They got so stupid so quick.
well, I mean,
but
you
the
got-
original
they really
Trimmers,
did.
the original Trimmers was terrifying.
Look, when you watch it now, it's really dumb. But when you first see it and you're like 5 to 7, like I was,
The scene where
it's the most horrifying thing you've ever seen. Also, because I'm afraid of snakes, and they have snake tongue things.
the scene where they like the couple is like in their RV and they're trying to get away from the thing that's like shaking the RV and stuff, so they get into their car to go drive away, and then their car tips nose up and they get consumed
Yeah,
like by the thing from inside their car, like nothing is safe. Like that was a horrifying film
yeah,
to
that's
me as a
not
young man.
okay.
As a young man, that made me very afraid to go outside for any kind of like that. Like, and honestly, they never showed him in like grassy places. So I lived in a bunch of grassy places.
Look,
but the second you took me to a sandbox, anywhere that had a sandbox, it could have been a 5-foot sandbox. I don't give 2 fucks. There's a graboid in there.
Yeah, well, see, here's the thing. I didn't care if it was desert or not. I knew that they were where we was. My mom used to yell at me for tiptoeing around the house. She didn't know why I was tiptoeing, and she said, "Stop it! You're freaking me out."
Stop sneaking around your own
Yeah,
house.
yeah, pretty much. And it's like I was just going to get something to drink, and it's like I'm like, "Mom, I'm gonna go to the kitchen and get something to drink." She's like, "Okay, whatever." She's like, "Stop fucking tiptoeing."
You're put on high alert on those kind of movies because it put me on high alert as to like they can't just that reason. Like I didn't want to make cricks in the floor because
Well,
I didn't
see-
want them to hear me. By them, I mean the fictitious monster that only lived in sand.
Well, see, here's the thing. My dad would feed into shit like that. We'll see, because
Was this dad or shit dad?
real dad? Because my dad said that there was a hand that lived in the floor that would change the TV. that was one thing he would do, because he would like put I didn't understand remote controls, so he would have it on like the table by his chair, because he had a chair that had like a napkin on it. It was his chair anyway. So he'd be like, "Watch this." And he would just like push the button, but he wouldn't. I was too young to understand, and he'd be like, "Hey, go to the next channel," and boop. He'd be like, "What? You didn't see the hand come out of the floor, and there's a little door right in front of the TV." I looked for that little door for so long.
I'm not surprised. How old were you?
Well, my dad died when I was 8, so sub 8.
That's
So
understandable.
probably from between 5 to 8.
I think I believed in Santa Claus until I was like 11.
I mean, that was just one of the stories.
So I can totally comprehend like magic is real. Things.
See, I think that's where I got the messing with people gene, was from, well, for one, him, and from two, my mother, because my dad also told me that his cat was a person trapped in a cat's body.
That's every cat.
I know. Well,
That's not a joke.
Well, his cat was named Slatsman.
Slatsman?
Yeah,
Slatsman the cat.
yeah.
I thought Earl was a weird cat name.
No, well, see, I think
Much less Slatsman.
what I remember, my mother said that there was somebody on the radio that he was like a radio DJ, and his name's Slatsman, and Dad liked him, so we named his cat Slatsman. That
Okay.
being said, Mom had a cat that was Slat's woman.
Okay.
Then we had Slat's son, which became Porky, and then we had John Phi. So that was the 4 cats that I had growing up. John Phi was deaf because John Phi got ground up in the van motor.
That's awful. And I actually, every
He
day,
was a great cat once he realized it was me that was touching him.
my
Probably still have scars.
like I before I just go start my car up on these cold days like this, like I'll make sure I honk my horn a few times.
Yeah.
Because I don't want anything bad to happen to my
Right.
precious Earl. He's not even my cat, but he's my precious Earl.
Yeah, Earl's great.
Like I would hate like
He's no Slats man, but he's great.
well, Earl's the only cat that I've ever known that will scream back at me. And I think everybody's witnessed like Earl, meow. like it's heartwarming, and he's not even my damn cat, but he loves me. I love him back, and that's the way it should be. Speaking of irrational fears, I forgot that I had one more. I found it in the midst. I was like, I feel like I'm missing something. Irrational fears. Watching like The Hunt for Red October and all these submarine-based movies and everything, you're thinking to yourself like mines, sea mines. Those are in a lot of
Yeah,
different.
like the floaty ones, like under the water,
That always look like they got like they're the
spikes and stuff.
yeah, they are covered in spikes. So like quicksand was always going to be more of a problem. The way that movies depicted it as I was growing up, sea mines were always going to be way more of a problem as movies depicted them as I was growing up. Like so, thinking of sea mines, like I never knew how a sea mine operated until I learned the fact. The
I
fact.
also don't know how sea lions operate.
I think something like that.
I don't know.
So, do you know how a sea mine is operated?
I'm just guessing like some kind of pressure.
It is operated by the nipples that are on the outside of it. Those little spikes
Yeah.
are actually containers of little latches of battery acid. That if anything on the outside of that is broken or damaged, it releases battery acid from a chamber underneath it directly into a battery acidless battery that then activates a detonator inside of the bomb.
So basically, it's under pressure and there's nothing inside. So when the pressure goes into it, it goes in there and goes and creates a chain reaction.
It's a vial of battery acid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the pressure sucks it into it
Yeah.
and provides the battery inside of it that doesn't have any acid, the
Right,
acid that it
right.
takes to activate
Yeah,
itself.
it makes a chemical reaction.
Yes, and then it goes boom.
Yeah. So what
Big
I'm saying
bada
is
boom.
the body's pressurized, and so when it gets that positive pressure taking place of the negative pressure, it forces it in. That makes sense. That's kind of genius.
You got any more?
Oh, I've got a bunch more.
I've got another one too. So go ahead and give me one more.
A blue whale's tongue can weigh as much as an elephant,
Damn,
and cats can't taste anything sweet.
that's not surprising.
Yeah, I mean that's probably why they're all so angry. The
They are
national animal of Scotland is a unicorn.
good on them.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Scotland stuff recently.
The longest time someone has spent holding their breath underwater is 24 minutes and 37 seconds.
Held their breath for almost half an hour,
Yes.
functioning
That's all I got.
like they were able to function during
I
that
would
point.
assume so.
No way.
The human circulatory system is more than 60,000 miles long.
That I knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't know the exact number, but I knew it was long.
Well, I don't either because this is more than.
I found one that relates to a previous podcast episode,
Okay.
and I forgot about this. I got jumbled. This is in fact my last fact that I brought with me. But you know how we found out that Pimp My Ride was just basically screwing people over left and right?
Oh, yeah.
So did you know that MTV Cribs a lot of times weren't even like their houses or anything to do with them?
Yeah, they were typically like a rental property.
Several MTV Cribs episode faked lavish celebrity lifestyles. Robbie Williams rented Jane Seymour's house. 50 Cent borrowed Ferraris. Kim Kardashian filmed at her mother's house. Let's see. The Ja Rule had an episode that led to a lawsuit because the real homeowner claimed that nobody authorized filming and there was property damage. So
Good
they just
Lord.
showed up. Hey, yo, my name's Ja Rule.
Why would you not just show your own house? It's like, bruh.
To up the lavish lifestyle idea that this is what I own, this is mine.
Well, I mean, you can't tell me that somebody like Ja Rule didn't have a house way nicer than my house anyway.
And this is from Wikipedia. So this part is it says 50 Cent his MTV Cribs episode showed him with 3 different Ferraris: a yellow Enzo Ferrari, a red version of a Ferrari F50, and a Ferrari 599. They said 50 Cent said that they were his whips. All 3 of the Ferraris were in fact owned by a private collector who lent out the vehicles to 50 Cent for the Cribs episode and related music content. And I said next to it, watch Candy Shop music video. The same car from the Cribs episode is still on loan to him during the Candy Shop music video shoot, and it's in the Candy Shop music video shoot as well as the Cribs episode, and neither one of them were his car.
That's so dumb.
MTV used to just lie to us all the time and call it reality television, as if reality television isn't just an outright lie in the first place.
Look, I kind of feel like MTV themselves did not know that on those Cribs episodes that wasn't their crib. Because it's like, I don't know. I still don't understand why you wouldn't just take them to your house. Because the whole point is, come look at how cool I am.
Like, I think that
But no, let's go to my mom's house.
I think there was one time they went to
Where my mom's at?
well, because they needed good ratings.
Where are the bodies, G? Where are the fucking bodies, G? Otto, what?
I was first.
Weird.
Otto, I can't believe that
I can't believe
you said that.
something like that, man.
That
That's-
causes me some discord.
It does. There's a link down in the description. Get on there, click it. It's a happy, slappy, fun time. We share memes and all kinds of stuff. And I'm starting a read along with me thing. If you want, I've set a goal for myself to read 24 books this year, and I'm just going to post names and titles. You know, you can read them too if you want. If not, that's cool. But they're there. It's kind of like an accountability thing for me. Also, we're on there live, uncut, uncensored, and irrevocably circumcised.
We are also on YouTube. And if you like listening to the podcast, sometimes you like watching the podcast, we'll be on there.
Yeah, some of y'all don't
be able
even know we're on YouTube. I
Yeah,
found out.
you can watch us, and sometimes we're even funnier when you see us because we're not only goofy, we're goofy looking.
We are, and some of us are sexy.
As I said, goofy looking.
I turned me on.
You better. Otherwise, you ain't never getting no accent.
Wow, that's rude.
I know, I tried. That's a quick jab across the room in your ears.
Thanks, Jason.
Then why would you say?
You said that was a Jason level thing to say.
Now, hey, brother. Now, you quit being sad and every damn thing.
Don't you have a good brother me?
Now, hun. Oh, hun. Don't get.
I hate you sometimes, but it's okay.
I accept that. Well, I guess that's the end of the episode.
Yeah,
I've gotten-
roundabout.
I've gone through all my facts. Do you have any more facts left on your page?
I mean, let me see. I think there's a couple more because I just kind of been skipping around. Because I know we've got a couple more minutes. If I can click on the right tab. 80% of orange cats are male.
Earl's orange.
Oranges. Earl's orange and white. I mean, it still counts.
He's orange cat.
Yeah, he is.
He ain't got no tail.
I know.
He's got thumbs.
He does have thumbs. Earl does have thumbs.
He's an odd cat. I like him.
A cloud weighs around 1 million tons. A cloud typically has a volume of around 1 kilometer cubed and a density of around 1.003 kilograms per meter cubed. That's a density that's around 0.4% lower than the air surrounding it. That's how they float.
So a cloud being so massive as it is, because clouds are huge.
Yes.
So a cloud is actually very, very heavy,
Yes.
but so huge that weight's distributed over
Yes.
a crazy amount that it's able to even float.
Yeah, think kind of like surface tension kind of thing. Huh. Your brain is constantly eating itself in a process called phagocytosis, where cells envelop and consume smaller cells or molecules to remove them from the system.
So wait, your brain is constantly eating itself?
Yes, but it actually helps preserve, working, functioning cells.
Oh, that's like knowing that your body loses 30,000 skin cells an hour.
That sounds gross. A chicken once lived without its head for 18 months. Mike the chicken's incredible feat was recorded back in the 40s. He survived as his jugular vein and most of his brainstem were left mostly intact, ensuring just enough brain function remained for survival.
Damn.
And usually they die within a few minutes.
Roaches can live up to 4 days without their head because they die of starvation.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Wearing a tie can reduce blood flow to the brain by 7.5%. A study in 2018 found that wearing a necktie can reduce the blood flow to your brain by 7.5%, which can make you feel dizzy, nauseous, and cause headaches. They can also increase the pressure in your eyes if it's on too tight, and are great at carrying germs, and they make me look sexy.
The original Black Ranger, his name was Zach on the show. I forget his
He's got
name.
9.5 fingies.
He does. He's missing a fingy.
No, just half a fingy.
Well, he's missing a part of a fingy.
Yeah.
What's his name? Walter Jones. There it is.
The world's oldest dog lived to 29.5 years old.
Good dog.
He was an Australian cattle dog named Bluey. Consequently, the oldest cat lived up to be 38. His name was Cream Puff.
Now I've seen like cats that live up to like 20 years old. I hear about those all the time, but it's always one of those things to where their owners are looking around like, "Are you dead yet?"
Yeah.
Like because they operate on like a base function and that base function is like also like they're not shitting where they're supposed to shit. They're throwing up places that they you don't even know they've been. Like,
Yeah.
and
well,
then,
I mean, cats are prone for disappearing when they die, kind of like elephants.
but then a cat living to 30-something years old. Like, imagine
Imagine how cranky that cat would be.
yeah, because
because
I'm
that
36 human years and I'm that way.
Yeah, that cat just sits around and goes, "Why the fuck am I still alive?" Kind of like Mr. Meeseeks trying to teach what's his name to be good at golf.
Jerry,
Yeah, trying to teach Jerry to be good at golf.
It's easy.
Yeah, and he's like, "Why won't I die?"
can do.
So the last fact that I have is that octopi do not actually have tentacles. They have 8 limbs that are considered arms because technically, when you're talking about cephalopods, a tentacle is a limb with a sucker at the end, and octopi have suckers all the way down their arms. So they're technically classified as arms.
So octopus have 8 octopi.
Or octopuses. They're both correct pluralization.
I like octopi.
Yep.
Octopi.
Octopi sounds better than octopuses.
Yeah, that kind of.
Yeah, generally, octopi refers to multiple octopuses, whereas octopuses generally refers to different species of octopi.
Huh.
That's generally how it's used, but they are interchangeable,
I bet you anything that they're aliens.
probably.
I just get the like such alien vibes off of those octopi.
I mean, they can fit through places so much smaller than their bodies should.
As long as they're beak.
It's like they're transdimensional beings because their beak allows them to, like, it wouldn't be hard pressed to find one inside of like a 2-liter bottle. You know, just because their beak, as
Yeah.
long as it fits, the rest will fit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that saying, if it fits, I sits.
Yeah,
Like cats in
like-
boxes.
Or just the what is it the USPS, if it fits it ships
Exactly. Also, never look up Genki
with a G.
with a G.
Okay,
Don't do it.
I won't.
It's worse than hentai.
Oh, don't do that. It can't be
Oh yeah.
with tentacles.
This is real life stuff. Don't ever look it up.
I'm not going to. I'm just you said it now. I'm curious. So